There's definitely beauty to the simplicity of Minecraft, but come on, we all would love to see our builds and the sheer beauty of some Minecraft landscapes completely reimagined by shaders, adding stunning lighting, better shadows, and gorgeous reflections. So that's why today on Pixel Pioneers we'll be going over the top 7 shader packs and the pros and cons of each one. We'll be talking about what they offer, how they look, and of course also the performance. And also later down the line we're going to have a second video talking about the very best shaders for lower NPCs. So definitely subscribe so you don't miss that. So let's get started. At number 7 we have Beyond Belief Shaders, a popular shader pack that looks pretty great, with one of the biggest things about this pack being the various water and weather effects. They make the game very atmospheric and overall goes for a rather realistic style, and it's also great to see exactly how things change in each of the 3 dimensions of the game. There's even a cell shading option if you want to give Minecraft a bit of a twist on the way it looks. It is also fairly hassle-free, easy to set up, free to get, and kept mostly up to date. So while it doesn't do anything that revolutionary compared to many other shader packs, it still looks great. It's not too overdone when it comes to actual shading, unlike some shader packs, who just slap way more reflections and god rays on anything that's actually required, and it's just all around good. I really don't know what else to say about it. I mean, it's in number 7 for a reason. There's more interesting packs than this. Other packs like for example Nostalgia VX coming in at number 6. This is meant to offer a bit more of a, well, as the name implies, nostalgic experience to the game, making use of softer lighting and shadows to bring back those childhood memories of playing the game back in the early days. It does a phenomenal job of that without seeming too try-hardy. It offers a great and very refreshing look for shader packs, even if at a glance it doesn't look that different. It's all the small details that make Nostalgia VX that much more appealing. There's a nice depth of field effect to a lot of stuff, and it's incredible how all around it is able to make Minecraft feel old and yet new at the same time. And especially if you prefer your shader packs to be a bit more on the vanilla side and not too overdoing it with super overblown lighting, reflections, etc., then this is definitely a pack for you. Unfortunately, it is not free, hence why you're not seeing any proper footage from me in this part of the video. And you may need to pay quite a bit a month just to be kept up with the latest releases of this shader pack. And if these images really speak to you, then maybe this pack is worth it to you. Continuum is one of the more famous shader packs in Minecraft, and for good reason. It is highly customizable. Once again, it isn't too overblown or in your face in many of areas, and it has quite a few interesting aces up its sleeve. Like for example, its depth of field effect, where if you get very close to something, everything in the background will start to become a lot more blurry. Or how your in-game eyes adjust to various light levels when going between light and dark areas. Now it is still very much in active development, so do expect some issues, and performance-wise, it's definitely not as great as some of the other shader packs in this list. Even some of the ones that look a lot better than this one end up giving you better overall FPS. But still, there's a reason why this is another one that's very often chosen for custom screenshots, because come on, it looks absolutely spectacular. Especially given how pretty much everything is physics-based, including the sky, materials, the lighting, and much more. And what's even more exciting is that there's a fully ray-traced version of the shader packs coming very soon. However, that is still in development. Speaking of development, while you can get older versions of Continuum for free, if you want the latest, you are gonna have to pay up. Though this is a one-off purchase. What isn't a one-off purchase is early access to the ray-traced variant, which will cost you up to $10 a month. That is a lot of money, but from what we've seen so far, Continuum RT may be worth the price, because man, those images they posted so far do look gorgeous. Next up we have pretty much the most famous shaders in all of Minecraft, Sonic Ether's PTGI. For the longest time they have been the default, the golden standard, the one everyone went to when they needed shaders. Quality wise, this pack is pretty much unmatched. Light softly working way around you, the water looking spectacular, realistic looking skies, etc and etc. You know the drill by now. It makes everything in the game looks spectacular. Unfortunately, the development is kind of slow, and as such there's many quality of life improvements missing, alongside plenty of other odd behavior, not to mention the fact that the performance hit can be pretty drastic. Next up we have Complementary Shaders. They look absolutely spectacular, and there's a reason why they're often the shader pack of choice for a lot of large-scale screenshots in the game. It also looks phenomenal in other dimensions other than the overworld. What's also great about it is that it comes in two separate modes. The Unbound style, which is pretty much what you'd expect from a shader pack, with super realistic water and overall high precision lighting and shadows that may not always fit into Minecraft. That is why they also offer the Reimagined style. If you're not a fan of shader water, this is a fantastic option, as fluids mostly keep the vanilla appearance, but with a nice twist to them to still make them look as good as possible. Not to mention the fact that the Reimagined style makes a lot of the shadows and reflections a bit more blocky, which makes sense in a game like this, you know? Once again, it is completely free to download, and it is very hassle-free with minimal bugs. Do you remember the super duper graphics pack that Mojang teased? Do you remember how that just didn't go anywhere? Well, yeah, a lot of other Minecrafters also remember, which is why Super Duper Vanilla exists, to at least bring some of that super duper magic back into the game. It has an overall very vanilla feel, it is not overdone, and the changes in some areas can seem pretty minimal. But then you get to the water, which is just on another level compared to the vanilla game, and then there's also the skyboxes. Man, that skybox is pretty. And don't get me started with whatever's going on in the end. It is fantastic because it doesn't detract too much from the overall feel of the main game, while still giving it just enough of a twist to make all the structures and landscapes you care about in your Minecraft world look that much better. And it is also kept fairly up to date as well, with very few bugs or issues of any kind right now, plus it's fully free. And finally, at number 1, we have PTGI. Again, well, okay, this is a completely different version of the SEUS PTGI shaders, this being PTGI HRR. What makes these shaders special is the support for ray traced lighting, and while that might sound kind of scary, the performance impact compared to other shaders is actually not that visible, all while everything looks that much more spectacular. Ray tracing is all about the small details. The way that light bounces off and plays off of surfaces, the reflections in the water, the way light rays make their way through rooms or caverns or wherever else you are. I've never seen Minecraft look prettier before than with these shaders, and these are the shaders I use personally all the time when I play the game and make these videos. It is truly spectacular, and I'm constantly discovering new details. Like, look at this reflection from the Nether portal. Oh, it all looks so beautiful. Now, despite them being in number 1, I almost didn't put them there, and I still feel kind of guilty about putting them at number 1. Why? Well, because even though they're probably the best looking shaders of all of the ones in this list, there's so many other issues. Like I said, the development is extremely slow, with the last public version being released in late 2021. As such, there's quite a few bugs and glitches that kind of ruin the experience. Like, for example, when you're flying around, you can just see some very weird shading issues here and there, and in other times, all the mobs will look like this, for example. And there's many other textures that just don't render properly, especially when transparency is involved. Another issue is that with this ultra-realistic lighting, it's sometimes difficult to even see what you're doing, with some areas being absolutely pitch black unless you have a light source nearby, making navigation in dark tunnels or at night pretty much impossible. Not to mention that, unlike some of the other packs, here we have no custom skybox for the end, which is kind of disappointing. For all of those reasons, like I said, I feel guilty at putting it at number 1, but I just can't help myself, because if you can just look past those issues, nothing else even comes close to this level of quality and beauty in Minecraft. And seeing how surprisingly easy it is to run compared to a lot of other shaders, you'll be definitely missing out if you don't at least give them a go. And there it is, our choices for the top 7 best shaders in Minecraft. Now, it is extremely subjective because there's so many out there that do lots of different things. Some are more realistic, others are more cartoony, or others are just trippy in different weird ways. So go out there and explore the wonderful world of shaders, and make sure to subscribe to Pixel Pioneers for more like this in the future.